Hold up.
Every day I wake up, wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Start off with some quick sports now. Tomorrow, of course, the NFL playoffs. The Bills take on the Broncos tomorrow at 4:30. 49ers take on the Seahawks at 8 p.m. And on Sunday, the Texans take on the Patriots and the Bears take on the Rams. What's up, Mimi?
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday.
Peace, Mimi Brown.
Hey, Mimi.
Good morning. Okay, so we start this morning with new developments out of Minnesota and a major escalation from the White House. Now, President Trump is now threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act. That is a rarely used law that would allow him to deploy federal troops inside Minnesota without the governor's consent. Now, the warning comes as protests continue in Minneapolis following another shooting involving a federal immigration officer, the second in just 1 week. And those protests, they erupted after a federal officer shot a Venezuelan man in the leg Wednesday night during what DHS describes as a targeted traffic stop. Now, they say the man fled, crashed his vehicle, he ran on foot and resisted arrest. Now, during that struggle, 2 other people joined in, and the man who was shot, he is hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. 2 others are in custody, and the officer was taken to the hospital. Now, after several nights of unrest, the administration is now signaling it will not pull back, and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says she has discussed the Insurrection Act with the president and says everything is on the table. Let's listen to what she had to say.
We did discuss the Insurrection Act. He certainly has the constitutional authority to utilize that. My hope is that this leadership team in Minnesota will start to work with us to get criminals off the streets. Remember, we are there in surged operations because of the largest fraud scheme in American history. We had people stealing from taxpayers, stealing funds away from the most vulnerable individuals in this country, people who needed mental health services, developmental services, autism, daycare. Instead, individuals came in, much from the Somalian community, and stole dollars from those people who needed it and put it in their own pockets and enriched themselves. Did it right under Governor Walz's nose, and we believe that he didn't just know about it, that he may be complicit in it as well.
That's crazy to hear him say things, complain about, things like mental health care budgets getting cut when he just rolled back $2 billion in mental health and addiction services. Mm-hmm.
And
$2 billion, by the way. I said billion, right? $2 billion.
Mm-hmm. And as they terrorize communities, right? So
my question was, I was watching the news yesterday and they were showing ICE agents run up on people and they were just saying, "Give me your ID."
That's crazy.
And lady was like, "I don't have to give you my ID. I don't have to give you my ID." And they went back and forth, right? And he was like, "Well, I'm gonna put you in the car. We're gonna identify you." It's like, I don't have to give you my ID. And they wound up leaving it. But I was wondering, what's the law? Like, if do you have to give him your ID? Do you have to show him identification?
I thought you had to have like probable cause. You had to be doing something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just walk up to somebody and request to see their identification.
Absolutely, Jess. You're supposed to have probable cause, but right now in this day and age, everything is really blurred. So, they're saying that, if you look the part, then we can stop you, we can arrest you, or we can ask questions. However they feel is basically what's been going down in Minnesota.
What's look the part?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. What do you mean look the part?
Look the part. So they're looking for brown people,
that's right?
Profile,
straight racial profile.
That's just crazy. Your
Exactly.
Latino getting pulled over. Your African getting pulled over. Your Mexican is getting pulled over.
Your
That's why
Somalian, whatever, they are pulling you over. They are stopping you. So there's a lot of that going on right now in Minnesota, and that's literally, what all the protests and the unrest that we've been seeing. And I wanted to say, because Kristi Noem in that soundbite, she said Governor Walz may be complicit, but there is no evidence that Governor Walz is complicit in any of that fraud activity. That's very important to say. And we want to mention that all of this is happening just 1 week after that ICE agent, Jonathan Ross, he shot and killed Renee Good. She was a 37-year-old U.S. citizen, and that was during a separate enforcement operation. Now, Governor Tim Walz, though, he says that he has tried to contact President Trump directly, but he is now, with no luck, and he is now convening business leaders, members of Congress, and other governors and community leaders in an effort to cool tensions and reverse course. Now, Walz says this is no longer about immigration enforcement, but about public safety and stability. And still, though, the administration says that federal agents are staying put, and there are reports this morning that ICE officers are now stationed at airports. And if people are attempting to flee the area, they could face detention. very, very a fluid situation. And really quick, the president is rolling out a new push to lower healthcare costs, calling it the Great Healthcare Plan. Now, Trump says this is about bringing relief to families dealing with high drug prices and rising premiums. Let's listen to what he had to say.
I'm thrilled to announce my plan to lower healthcare prices for all Americans and truly make healthcare affordable again. We're doing things that nobody's ever been able to do. We're calling it the Great Healthcare Plan. Instead of putting the needs of big corporations and special interests first, our plan finally puts you first and puts more money in your pocket. The government is going to pay the money directly to you. I'm calling on Congress to pass this framework into law without delay.
By the way, that's what people care about. I mean, if you really want to distract from the Epstein files, that's what you do. Put more money in people's pockets.
Yeah, but I'm sure, with that, so there's a little digging that has to be done because this plan, it focuses on drug prices, insurance costs, transparency, and on prescriptions. Trump says that Americans should pay more of what people pay overseas for the same drugs. Now, his plan, though, it would allow consumers to buy those drugs directly through a new federal website, trumprx.gov. We've spoken about this website before. He says that will cut out the middleman, lock in those lower international rates, and he wants to he wants more medications to be sold over the counter. Now, critics, though, they are pointing out there's a lot of things that this plan does not do, and I'm sure as Congress gets back into session and we move on from some of the other distractions that they will get into that, but it does not restore the Affordable Care Act subsidies that expired at the end of the year. And they said without those prices, no matter what we do, will be high. So it's not a bill yet. It is a framework for the White House, and they want Congress to pass it into law.
What you said about other distractions is so true, Mimi, man, because all this chaos happening in Minnesota, I just want the Trump administration to know that none of this is going to make the economy better. None of that's going to bring down, people's health care prices. None of that is going to stop food cost prices from rising. None of this will make the conversation about the Epstein files go away. All this chaos is not distracting from the fact that they are doing a terrible job at governing, and the promise that Trump made to make things financially better for people on day one is not happening.
Yeah, true.
All right.
Exactly. All right. Well, coming up at 7, experts say one digital mistake is quietly becoming one of the biggest communication problems of our generation. We'll tell you what it is and why it keeps happening in the next hour.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. I just want to tell y'all, on this Friday, I could tell Jess is high. I've never heard somebody ask for a piece of somebody's hard-boiled egg.
For a piece of egg.
Can I get a piece of your egg?
We ain't that poor.
It's not scrambled.
It's scrambled.
It's not scrambled.
Let me get a piece of your hard-boiled egg.
A piece of hard-boiled egg.
That's crazy.
You just break it and give me a piece.
You want something from Starbucks? I'll order you something.
Oh, yeah. Let me get cheese Danish.
I got you.
All right. Thank
Let's get some front page news. Jesus Christ on this Friday. All right. NFL. Now, playoffs is this week, and the Bills take on the Broncos tomorrow at 4:30. 49ers take on the Seahawks at 8 tomorrow. And on Sunday, Texans take on the Patriots at 3, and the Rams take on the Bears at 6:30. Who y'all got? Who y'all got for Super Bowl?
Dallas Cowboy.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen.
I don't know. I think
Who you got?
for some reason, I don't know. I got a feeling about the Bills for some reason.
I like that.
But that don't mean anything because I've had a feeling about the Cowboys for the past 28 years, so don't listen to me.
I don't know. For some reason, I think the 49ers. But anyway, what's up, Mimi?
Good morning, MV, Jess, Charlamagne. How y'all doing this morning?
Peace, Mimi Brown.
Good morning. So we start this hour in Washington, where there's new pushback this morning after comments from Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins about food affordability. Now, Rollins argued that the administration has run simulations showing that it's possible to eat healthy without spending more, and even claimed food prices are going down. Now, in an interview, Rollins suggested that families can follow the administration's new dietary guidelines and keep costs down by eating what she described as a $3 meal. Let's listen.
Is while we're asking Americans to reconsider what they're eating, are we actually asking Americans, especially those who are living on the margins, are we asking them to spend more on their diet? And the answer to that is no. We've run over 1,000 simulations. It can cost around $3 a meal for a piece of chicken, a piece of broccoli, corn tortilla, and one other thing. And so there is a way to do this that actually will save the average American consumer money.
Where can you get chicken and broccoli and a tortilla for $3? Like where? That's,
I don't know where you get that
There's no
from.
value meal in America that is doing that for $3.
Not fast food, nowhere. I mean, McDonald's is $9, $10. Popeyes is $15. I don't know what they're talking about.
I own Crystal franchises. I think the meal that we have that's the least is $4.99. That's 2 Crystal burgers, small fry, and a small drink.
Damn, that's good.
That's really
$5.
good. But yeah, and notice she said a piece of chicken, a piece of broccoli, right? And so House Democrats, or excuse me, the Ways House and Committee, they, along with several Democratic lawmakers, they posted online several images mocking the $3 meal, showing just how out of touch the administration is with everyday grocery prices. Now, federal data, though, it shows that grocery prices, they rose again in December with beef, beef, coffee, produce, all getting more expensive. As families, we're already stretched thin, rent, gas, childcare, healthcare costs now. And so they argue that telling struggling families to get by on a $3 plate runs hollow, especially as the Trump administration signs off on billions of dollars in spending elsewhere. Now, these comments, they come as the administration is rolling out those new federal dietary guidelines that are shaping school lunches and government nutrition programs. Now, these changes, they want to focus more on whole food, less sugar, and bringing whole milk and 2% milk back into schools. But online, they are getting ripped really bad, with Americans complaining and saying that they don't understand, and what they're saying does not line up with how much it actually costs to put dinner on the table right now.
Yeah, when they say things like this, I'm like, who are they talking to? Like when they say food prices are coming down, who are they talking to? Like, and they don't realize how ridiculous they sound, because everything healthy costs. I go to a juice bar every day and spend like $60. My wife be like, stop doing that. We're going to make this at the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely for sure. And switching gears here, Arkansas is making a major change inside its prison system. So starting February 1st, inmates in Arkansas prisons will no longer be allowed to receive books, magazines, or other printed materials directly from the outside, even if it was sent from a publisher, a bookstore, or a nonprofit. State correction officials say the goal is safety, specifically keeping drugs and other contraband out of prisons. Let's listen to what they had to say.
We have found that printed materials, books, magazines, newspapers is one of the top ways that illegal drugs are getting into the facility. A lot of these pages are soaked in K2, they're soaked in these illegal drugs. When you're getting 400-page books that are being sent in, we can't test every single page of every single book. And so this is what it is. It's nothing against trying to hurt the freedoms of inmates. It is a safety issue, trying to make sure that we're doing everything we can to keep that contraband out.
Yeah, and the Department of Corrections, they say inmates won't be cut off from reading altogether. Each prison will still have a library, and inmates can request books through librarians or chaplains, and donated books from libraries and bookstores will still be accepted, but everything, of course, will be screened before it reaches inmates. But some people are pointing out that this is a blanket ban, warning that access to books matter, especially for rehabilitation. So they will continue to monitor that and see how that looks for those inmates, and sort of like a model for other prisons around the country. And if you are a parent, this one is for you. If your kids are glued to YouTube Shorts and stuck in that endless scroll, the platform is rolling out a new parental control designed to give you more say. So YouTube now lets parents limit or completely shut off shorts for teens. So if you supervise your child's account, you can set daily short limits anywhere from 2 hours to 0 minutes. Now, YouTube is adding bedtime reminders and take a break alert. They're building on screen time tools that already exist for children under 18. Now, the changes come as more parents and lawmakers, they are raising concern about short form videos, warning that they're built to keep kids hooked and can be especially addictive for teens. Jess, what about your son? Do you ever notice, do you allow him to go on YouTube and scroll, or how does that look for your family?
Yeah, but Ashton is not, he's not on the phone all day though, because he does other things, like he likes to read, he's into football, he exercises, he works out with a physical trainer, you know what I mean? So he got his own, he got his own thing. Now he does scroll, but his scrolling, he don't do it excessively. I'll say like a few hours out the day.
Yeah, we don't need that just for teens either. We need that for adults as well.
Adults.
Because I hate when I
That's
dead
the
scroll.
problem.
I hate when I dead scroll. And it just happens. It's like
Yeah.
going in your room looking for something and then you forget what you came in there for and then you start doing something else. That's how I feel sometimes when I go on Instagram.
And then you look up and it's like, damn, it's 2 hours later.
Yes,
like,
man.
You know, yep.
What the hell?
So we need that for
Not
us.
2. 2 is crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
two is crazy.
Maybe 30 minutes.
Something, I mean, but just still, you get lost in it, no matter what it is.
But I noticed with my kids, they specifically look for something. Like
Okay.
my girls, they look for dancers, so they'll be watching other dancers
Stuff that they
dance.
love.
Stuff
I
that they
do
love.
too until the Kamala Harris AI pop up on my page and it's her dancing like a fool and you like, man, what the hell?
Yo, because you subscribe to all the shenanigans, so that's why all that stuff pop up.
All right, well, question for you guys. Have you ever taken a screenshot and accidentally sent it to the wrong person, or worse, sent it to the person that you were talking about?
Girl, yeah,
All the time.
what? Yes.
I don't do that no more, but I used to.
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, if that has ever happened to you, you are not alone. A survey is showing that a lot of people admit to missending texts or accidentally sharing personal details with the wrong person. And it's not just a one-time thing. A lot of people say it's happened more than once, turning screenshot slip-ups into one of the most common digital mistakes of our time. So a study found that 4 in 10 people say they've accidentally shared personal details in a text, and nearly 1 in 4 admit they've sent an intimate or private message to the wrong person. And while it can be funny later in the moment, it can be brutal. Some people say they've lost friendships, they've lost relationships, they've lost jobs over a single mistaken text message. And there's a name for it. It's called texting gaffe. It includes autocorrect fails, replying all by accident, sending emotional text too fast, drunk texting, and of course that screenshot fail. So experts say these mistakes, they also can trigger real stress and embarrassment. So your brain basically goes into like full panic mode, like you're in danger, even though it's just a text message.
Yo, that's
So,
crazy. I don't know about
yes.
panic mode and danger mode or whatever, but yo, it's like if you have 2 group chats, right? Like, and it's like 10 of y'all, your friends, right? But then you got another one, this group chat too, and it's like 6 of y'all where y'all talk about the other 4 that's not in the second group chat. I made a mistake and was talking about one of the other girls in the group chat with all of us. And now, I mean, ain't none of my friends no more, but I'm just saying that's probably why. But that texting gaffe, that's a real thing. That's crazy.
It is a real thing.
You ever did that, Mimi?
I have did it. I sent a bad text message to my boss one time. Like,
Damn.
at her job, talking about her, trying to like complain to another coworker, and then sent it to her.
Damn.
Yes.
That just mean God wanted you to tell the boss what you wanted to tell her instead of saying it to
she
somebody
needed to
else.
know.
Did
I stand by
that
it.
open up conversation after that?
Did she
She
tell
just
you
knew how I felt.
Did she
So-
tell you what she wanted to tell you? Like you fired?
Yeah, she told you fired.
No, she didn't say that. No,
Oh.
no.
all right,
but she knew
good.
how I felt, so it helped, right?
Word.
That is good.
So yes, so maybe this is a gentle reminder to everyone this morning: double check the name before you hit send. Right, the moral of the story.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Well, that is your front page news. I'm Mimi Brown. Follow me at Mimi Brown TV for more stories. Follow the Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app or visit binnews.com.
Peace, Mimi.
Thank you,
Enjoy the
Mimi.
weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Every day I wake up. Wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?